If you were a kid who grew up anywhere near the Salt Lake City region in the 70s, you knew who Cannonball and Harvey were. Every weekday morning before shuffling off to school, I would make myself a healthy breakfast of Lucky Charms and maybe a donut and plop down in front of my family's giant 19-inch color TV to watch Hotel Balderdash on KCPX Channel 4. This was a locally produced show filled with slapstick comedy sketches interspersed with classic Looney Tunes. From what I understand, there may have been a similar show called Wallace and Ladmo in Arizona that was an inspiration for this show's premise, but this type of show was being produced locally all over the U.S. during the late 60s and early 70s. Before Harvey and Cannonball, there was Fireman Frank. Before him, it was Captain Scotty. All good men, all decent hosts, and all right friends, but none of them, I repeat, none of them, compared to Harvey and Cannonball. Co-created by Charles LeSueur, who also played the show's only other regular, the rotten-to-the-core, fancy lad Raymond, the show starred Larry John as Cannonball, the hotel desk manager, and Randy Lavoie as the tall and lanky bellhop Harvey. John recently passed away, and in an article I discovered that the two of them met at Brigham Young University. Previously, I had thought that the greatest thing to ever come out of BYU was quarterback Steve Young, but now I realize that he is a distant second to the legendary comedy team of Cannonball and Harvey. So, with all of these types of shows, if you were lucky, you would get to be part of the studio audience with your Cub Scout troop or your Sunday school class, and if you were even luckier, you would get the chance to win a Harvey bag. Man, I really wanted a Harvey bag. It was filled with all sorts of goodies. And as an adult now, I recognize that it was probably mostly stuff that my parents would eventually throw away, but still, a Harvey bag way back then was the best of the best. Winning one of those things was almost better than Christmas morning. Note that I said almost. Nothing beats Christmas morning. Nothing, I say, nothing beats Christmas morning. Speaking of Christmas, according to Wikipedia, a story related to Cannonball and Harvey's immense popularity is the year when the storyline had the nefarious Raymond kidnapping Santa on the Thursday morning edition of the show. The Friday and Monday shows had already been taped and Santa was supposed to be saved on the Monday edition. Channel 4 was inundated on Thursday after the show aired with phone calls from irate parents whose children were extremely frustrated and upset at the idea of Santa being kidnapped. So the three actors were called back in Thursday night to tape an emergency session to make sure that Santa was saved by Cannonball and Harvey on Friday. That way they wouldn't have to go into the weekend worrying about Santa. He was saved, and the kids and the parents were happy. After the show was canceled in 1982, Larry John packed his family and moved back to his home state of Arizona, where he started a successful advertising firm. He was also an author, publishing 2 books, Think Rich to Get Rich, as well as Larryisms, Book 1. Randy Lavoie left the show prior to cancellation due to differences with Channel 4's parent company, and he moved out of the limelight, resumed a normal life away from the cameras and the grind of daily television. He still lives in Utah, in a little suburb just outside of Salt Lake City called Bountiful. Prior to Larry John's death, he and Lavoie had been planning something of a comeback. He'd retired and moved to his dream location, Maui. And from that island paradise, he had thought up a new version of Hotel Balderdash for a new generation of kids. There are some examples of what they were envisioning on the internet. Check out the pilot for the new version of Hotel Balderdash. It's on YouTube. I'll put a link to it in the upper right-hand corner of the screen. There it is. Go ahead and click on it if you'd like. Or you can wait until this video is over. I'll put a link there as well. So that's it. Every time I see the Krusty the Clown show on The Simpsons, I think back to the great local programming like Hotel Balderdash that was created specifically for kids decades ago. Life was simpler back then, and these shows were as well. Truth be told, I think we were better because of it. Wait, I don't think. I know we were. We were better off, and I feel for kids these days. Life is just too darn complex. So what was your favorite locally produced show growing up? I didn't mention Lighthouse 20 with Captain Cutlass, but that was one of my favorites as well. Probably because it was in the afternoon. Hotel Balderdash was on in the mornings. It was on Utah's first UHF station, Channel 20. By the way, I don't know who that cat is on top of the Channel 20 sign, but he seems happy. Anyway, let me know in the comments section what you liked to watch when you were a kid. And while you're at it, please click on the thumbs up and subscribe buttons. That's how I'll know if I should make more videos like this one. But most importantly, as always, thank you so very much for watching.